We are just incredibly excited to be here. And, the process allowed us an opportunity to meet a number of people in the community of Pittsburgh, a number of our staff members. Every interaction that we had just heightened our enthusiasm about becoming a part of this community. And we couldn't be more excited or enthused and are jumping in with both feet and appreciate everybody taking the time to be here this afternoon. So we'll take some questions for a while. And
First question, Seth.
Welcome to Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
This franchise over its almost 60 years has had a lot of ups and downs. Sometimes the downs have involved things like bankruptcies, potential franchise relocation, uncertainty with the arena situation. I know there's still many years left on the lease, but can you just elaborate on your commitment here in Pittsburgh, ensuring this franchise is here in Pittsburgh and it will have the financial resources necessary to remain competitive?
Yeah, it is a storied franchise in a lot of different ways. There's certainly been some ups and downs, I think, on the business side of the organization, and I'm here to tell you that has come to an end. We are long-term thinkers. This is not an investment for us, like as you think about a financial investment. This is a commitment to a city. It's a commitment to an organization. The Penguins are going to be in Pittsburgh and always going to be in Pittsburgh as long as the Hoffmans are part of it, and the Hoffmans plan to be a part of this for generations to come. We are really well positioned, not only to continue the trajectory that the organization is on currently, but to make the investments that are required to remain competitive and to create an incredibly special fan experience, which is something that we're focused on too. We want this to be great for the community of Pittsburgh and for all of our fans.
Andrew here on the right.
Yes, Jeff, hi. Andrew Stockey, WTAE TV here in Pittsburgh. Welcome to our city. Have you spoken with Mario Lemieux at all during this process, and will he be part of this ownership group or at least have a role in the new administration of the Penguins?
Yeah, Mario and I have spent some time together. He's been as good as advertised, I think. Just a great guy. And I'm really hopeful that he will be a part of this in whatever way, shape, or form makes sense for him. But we would love for him to be a part of it. We know what he means to hockey. We know what he means to the Penguins. We know what he means to the city and what he means to the league, to the NHL. And I think everybody would embrace him with open arms, especially the three of us up here.
Hi, guys. Mark Madden from 105.9 The X. I'm sure you've spoken with Kyle and his staff at length pre-purchase and afterwards. What are the goals for you guys immediately on the ice? Because as you're obviously aware, it's a team in a form of transition right now.
Look, Kyle, we think is a particularly talented executive in the league, and that was one of the things that attracted us about making the investment, especially at this point in time. And we fully support him and his vision for the organization, and we're prepared to give him the resources that he needs to be as successful as we can possibly be as an organization.
I'll echo the welcome to Pittsburgh. And you referenced the process before, and in that process, it took a little bit of time. Can you sort of elaborate on what that process looked like from your end? The types of things that the league was looking into, and also why it might have taken the time that it did.
I'm probably unable to talk about specific details of the process. I can tell you that we got a unanimous vote yesterday or 2 days ago by the NHL Board of Governors in support of the deal. There are a lot of factors in a transaction of this magnitude that just require time, and it's not about one particular instance or there's a lot of facets that went into it. But fortunately, I think that time allowed us to really get to know the organization and to understand it, to be able to jump in with both feet as we're sitting here today. Like we've all gotten to know a bunch of our staff members on the hockey ops side, on the business ops side. I've gotten a chance to meet a number of leaders in the local community, which have been everyone has been incredibly gracious. It has been such a welcoming, supportive environment that it made us even more enthusiastic. We were so happy that we ended up being able to be in this position. I probably can't speak to anything specific in the transaction. I don't think I'm glad we're here right now.
Taylor on your left.
Jeff, welcome to Pittsburgh. I just want to know, how much autonomy do you see Kyle having still in personnel decisions? How much do you guys want to be involved in things like that?
We're hockey fans, like we're big hockey fans, so of course we're close to it. But in terms of making decisions on personnel and strategy and what's happening on the ice, that is Kyle's department for sure. So we're here in a support function, and we'll make sure that he's got the resources and that the team has the resources to pursue whatever opportunities they think are fit. And but that's it. We won't be making those decisions.
Jeff on your right.
Jeff, welcome. What did you learn as owners of an ECHL franchise that you bring to the NHL that may be different than things that we've seen before?
Yeah, you could perhaps speak to that a little bit if you want.
You mean I get a speaking
I'm
part
like
today?
been shocked that you've been so quiet. I'm like, do you feel okay? I thought you were sick.
This is huge. I said, she made it clear you're speaking. So. Listen, we have a culture. We created a culture of winning, and you will win in Pittsburgh. We're committed to winning, and whatever it takes, we give the resources, we give the autonomy, and we put the right people in place to win. Our coach at the Everblades is the winningest coach in the history of the ECHL. We've won 4 out of 5 years the Kelly Cup, which is a lower level Stanley Cup, and we plan to do the same thing here. This is going to be wonderful, and we'll give Kyle all the resources he needs, or whatever he needs to bring a Stanley Cup back here. So, thanks for letting me speak.
Dan on your left.
Hi, gentlemen, and thank you for doing this so quickly after the purchase. There's been some talk around the league over the last year or so that the spike in the salary cap will create different tiers of teams. Can you commit to spending to the salary cap, even if it hits like $130 million over the next few years?
I can commit that Kyle will have whatever resources at his disposal that he needs to have the type of hockey team that can go out there and be successful. We'll follow whatever we need to do in terms of spending to make sure that happens. But it will be that's Kyle's call.
Tim right here.
Hi, Jeff. Over here. Tim Benz from the Pittsburgh Tribune Review. I do have a Penguins question, but just a quick follow-up to the Everblades thing. Are you going to be allowed to keep that team, or what's going to happen? Do you have to divest yourselves of the Everblades?
We want to keep it.
Yeah, we're going to keep it, and we're going through kind of all those discussions right now, and we'll have some more clarity on what happens at the East Coast level, I think, in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. The Penguins question I was going to ask, you mentioned in your opening statement that you're forward-thinking, long-term thinking people. So are you thinking about the Penguins right now more in the long term, or are you thinking about it in sort of the short term with Sid and Gino and Letang still here?
I'm thinking about the Penguins 24/7. I can tell you that after the deal that we just struck. But I think all of the above. Short, mid, long term. And I think the way the team performed last year was, an exciting thing that was probably less than expected from the expectations of most people. I think the consensus was finishing 30 or 30th out of 32, or maybe somewhere around there. And I think through some obviously great play by the players on the ice and excellent coaching by Dan and his staff and the moves that Kyle made, they were able to put a successful team together. And, that's the expectation moving forward.
Josh on your left.
Hey guys, welcome to Pittsburgh. I'm curious about what your ownership style will be. There are owners in professional sports like Jerry Jones who talk with people like us every day and clearly run the whole show. There are people like Fenway who were so much in the background that they were never really visible in Pittsburgh. Do you want to be more visible in terms of day-to-day operations and also in the community? What can we expect from you guys?
Yeah, I don't think we'll be quite like Jerry Jones, from probably a different number of perspectives. But we will absolutely be present. We're not going to micromanage the team. We're going to bring in a president of business operations. We've got the best GM and coach in the league. So that work is done. But we understand what the Penguins and what sports teams in general, but I think especially in a city like Pittsburgh, like what the Penguins mean to the city. And, it's more than just what happens on the ice. It's being good members of the community. It's supporting the community. It's taking a vested interest in participating philanthropically, participating in community events, and creating an atmosphere, again, where everyone is welcome and wants to be here, and that takes presence. So you'll be seeing us in Pittsburgh regularly. In fact,
We bought a house here.
I was going to say.
That's usually a good sign that you're going to be here.
Yeah, I was about to say, we bought a house in Squirrel Hill, and so, rolled the dice a little bit. We close on July 1st, and in terms of the timing with the broader league, but yeah, we're excited to be fixtures here in the community.
Guys, welcome to Pittsburgh. To go back to thinking about the current and future state of the Penguins, specifically on Sidney Crosby, he's been one of the most marketable stars the game has ever seen for 2 decades. Has 1 year left on his contract, but he doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. Just how enticing was it to buy the team right now when he is still going the way that he is going?
I mean, you're talking about one of the best players to ever play the game, and being around him is what an amazing opportunity. And I think his legend has certainly been made already, and of course that his star power is magnetic.
Hi there, Shelby Cassesi with WPXI. What do you view as the biggest opportunity for growth for this franchise, and how do you guys intend to address that?
In growth in terms of in what manner you mean?
Just in any way, on-ice product, fan experience, what have you identified when looking at this team as this is an area we can really hone in on to make the entire experience better?
I mean, I think there's a lot of great opportunity that exists. I think in the arena itself, I think we've kind of earmarked areas where we think we can make improvements to make that fan experience top-notch, that we're going to be executing on over the next several months, putting together a plan, and then beginning to execute. Certainly part of the deal that changed, but is still relevant, is the Lower Hill District development. I mean, that is something that we still think could be a tremendous opportunity for the city, for the team, creating a space where communities can join and enjoy, creating opportunities for mixed-use development, and making a space downtown that people will frequent beyond just our 41 or 42 home games with the expansion of the NHL schedule, activating this space for the entire city of Pittsburgh and making it hopefully the jewel of the area is what we see as an opportunity. And I know, and I don't have all the history clearly, I know it's a very complicated issue and a lot of stakeholders to be satisfied. And I'm optimistic that we can get there once we have an opportunity to hear the concerns about let's design something that works for everybody, especially, most importantly, the community.
If I could add to that, when we took over the Everblades in Naples, my wife and I, Jerry, hello Jerry, would go down to Fifth Avenue South with just bags full of tickets to get people to come to the game. We now scalp tickets to get tickets to get in the minor league hockey game. And I think winning is really important. We've made the playoffs every year. I think we got the right guys to do that, and the coach and Kyle and the general manager. But we made a distinct effort to make it kid friendly, and we did a really bunch of cool stuff. Like we have an inflatable Swampy, our mascot that flies around. We shoot T-shirts out. We have fire going. We have games at halftime. And you look in that stadium and we do that because we got a lot of kids, as you can see. We got 13 grandkids, and they like to be entertained at the game. But I think the one distinct thing that we did, we won, and you got to win. And two, we made it kid-friendly where families wanted to come to it. And then I think because we got so engaged in the community, businesses really wanted to support it, and they started buying bucket loads of tickets to our game. And, the success is success. We're not just giving you a road show here either. These are the right two guys to make that happen. One of the things that Jeff and I both did, and Greg, we started and ran one of the most successful executive search firms in the world. We think we're pretty good at picking talent, and I think we got the best talent in the league right here with these two guys. I really do. So we just got to give them the resources and do the things that we have to do as owners to continue to make this successful. But I think the basics are really here, and I'm really excited about it, as is Jeff. But this is Jeff's running the show. I'm an advisor that normally doesn't get to talk, so.
Welcome to Pittsburgh, Chris Hoffman, KDKA TV.
Like your name.
I thought you'd like that.
Wait, how many F's and N's?
Just the one, two F's, but only one N. I know, a little bit of a bummer. But you do mention the Hill District. How do you work to fulfill some of the Penguins' commitments to that? And have you spoken with Hill District leaders about partnering and fulfilling some of those requirements?
Like I said, it's a long history that we haven't been a part of, and I know that there are many stakeholders that need to be heard and taken care of, and we plan to have those discussions when the time is right. But the only way it would work is for everybody to feel great about it. And so I'm excited and enthusiastic to start that dialogue when the time is right.
Let me ask you something on that front. Now you did give me a speaking part. So one of the things that I've noticed coming here is the hotel situation doesn't seem to fit with the demand or all the great assets you have here. So Greg runs our real estate portfolio, runs it very well, and we've had lengthy discussions about why isn't there a better choice for more hotels here, but a hotel close here that's maintained well and looks good, that's an attraction where everybody wants to go to. It just doesn't seem like with all you have going on, 4 sports teams, 3 colleges, and a vibrant community, that you have enough hotels. So we're very interested in building a hotel here.
Gentlemen, welcome to Pittsburgh. Good afternoon. You spoke earlier about the process of this acquisition and how you spoke to so many people. I'm just curious, did you meet anyone or learn anything that really stood out that was kind of unexpected during that process?
I think everybody stood out in a really great way. I was fortunate enough to attend a lot of games, and there's so much enthusiasm from the moment that you enter the building, from the personnel that are managing our x-ray machines and driving our security processes, and people that have been here for years, and you just see like the pride that they had in what they do and with the organization, and for the city of Pittsburgh, it was like so infectious to become a part of it. That was great. And then, I think I do have to say FSG was first class throughout the entire process, and they were great partners. They were very open and transparent throughout the entire acquisition. Let us have as many conversations as we needed to have. We're very, very thankful and appreciative of all the support that they gave us through the process.
Jeff or David, are you pleased with the arena situation you have right now? I know it's only 15 years old, but given that the arena is such an important part of generating revenues, are you happy with what you have now? Do you see perhaps renovation, expansion?
Yes, and yes. I think we're happy with the facility. It's very well managed, very well run, clean, and a good fan experience. But I think with some improvements and modernization, we can make it an elite fan experience, and we absolutely plan to do that. The specific timeline, I couldn't really give you right now. We have worked with a couple different architectural firms and have some things that are completed that need refinement. When they actually get put into place remains to be seen, but this is not going to be 5 years from now. This is something that's going to happen, hopefully within like a 12 to 18-month timeline is when we'll start swinging hammers, would be my expectation, if not sooner. Don't quite know yet if it's going to be phased with different levels of what we're going to do. We have to iron out those details, but we plan on kind of touching pretty much every corner of the arena to make sure that it stays best in class.
Can I add from one of the things that Greg and I looked at, from the community point of view, this arena is a good deal for the owner. It's one of the first things we looked at. This is more than a fair deal for the owner. If you look at the cost of building like something like this today, it would be 1.2 to 1.4 billion. And the way they've done the lease, because it's a community type deal with your organization here, it's very attractive for ownership. So I think the least we can do is support it, make it nice, and make it as nice as it can be, because the basics of a great building are in place, and the way the city has done it, it's really attractive for an ownership. The guy yesterday announced he's buying, they're going to Houston or Austin, Texas. They announced a new franchise yesterday. It's a $3.5 billion deal, and everybody knows what we paid. But a lot of that was the arena cost. You know, the arena cost to build an arena was $1.2 billion. That's what they're saying now, but we're in the business. By the time they're done, it'll be $1.5 billion. So I think that was really attractive when we started looking at the deal.
We have two more, Josh.
Hi, guys. Can you clear up the TV broadcast right situation moving to the future? Obviously, Nesson and Fenway controlled that largely. What's the plan moving forward with that?
We have 1 year left on the deal, at which point, you know, we'll have to get into discussions about what the future might look like. But next season, we're going to stay on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. It's managed by Nesson in conjunction with our partnership with the Pirates. You know, beyond that, I don't have specific details what it might look like. As you know, it's a changing landscape in this local broadcast media rights. But I can tell you, we want to get our games broadcast and available in as many homes as people that would like to see it, and want to make sure we do it in a way that is easy to access.
Last question, Taylor.
Going back to the Everblades, I know you said you're still working through the UCHL things. I know you don't currently have an NHL affiliate. The Penguins, I know, agreement with the Nailers. Do you want the Everblades to be affiliated with the Penguins?
100%. I think they would run me out of Naples if they're not. We already have people wearing Penguins jerseys at our games. So I think the high expectation levels, that's going to happen.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.